Representative Leger, while the amendments to
Thank you, Mr.
221
Chairman
are
and
being
members.
passed.
I have some general remarks, and then I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the reinvestment aspect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your participation in this task force. It was an honor to work with you and others. It's clear that since man and woman first began to organize into societies, that we know they did that for the most basic and foundational reasons. That was the entering of a social contract for safety and security. In order to be a part of society, one agrees to surrender certain personal liberties in exchange for protection from the state. We also know that our state of Louisiana incarcerates more people per capita than any other. This doesn't have to be the case. We know this because it hasn't always been this way. In 1965, we were 13th in incarceration. By 2005, we were 50th and have been ever since. Whose fault is this? Who is to blame? Doesn't really matter. Many share the burden. Our role as legislator is to recognize that human institutions formed by government are not perfect because we're not perfect. We are humans wired at our very core to survive. This, I believe, is why anecdote and personal experience has so guided our public policy around criminal justice and sentencing for so long. But today we're given an opportunity to embrace reform by this committee's exercise of wisdom. Wisdom is defined as soundness of action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. I ask that you employ the wisdom that has been developed through intense study and analysis of data and iterated in the Criminal Justice Reinvestment Task Force report to move our state towards a more just, merciful society, but more importantly, to a safer society. Pope Francis said that the greater our need, the more God's gaze upon us is filled with mercy. This is not to say that punishment for crimes is unnecessary, but punishment without the purpose of rehabilitation, treatment, job training, and other investments in our fellow citizens has served us poorly, and I am convinced is not gazed upon with favor by our Creator. We have failed the incarcerated and are surprised when offenders eventually released fail us, and the cycle continues. We can and must do better. We must do something big, and you can start today by passing the three bills before you. Senate Bill 139, which will strengthen probation and parole by Senator Martini, and Senate Bills 220 and 221, which will focus beds on those who pose the greatest risk to public safety, and fix the habitual offender law to focus on most serious crimes. Other bills will follow, including a strong bill to ensure reinvestment of savings into evidence-based anti-recidivism programming that will spend our public safety tax dollars in a more efficient manner. Our humanity keeps us from being perfect, and over the years the legislature has been far from it. But redemption is not just for the offender. Redemption can be ours too. But first we must employ wisdom gained through thoughtful study and not anecdote to promote public safety and repair our broken system. It starts today with you.